Welcome to Beyond the Script, where you find great movies and great conversation. Let's get started. Today's movie is Invisible Man. Great movie. I know I always say that, but it really is. We actually were able to find so much in this movie. It was really, really good. The first act of The Invisible Man, we find that a distressed woman is, pretty much trying to escape from her relationship. And she actually does that in the very first act, escapes from him, but she's racked with fear, like overwhelmed with fear, because she's thinking he's gonna come after her, and then all of a sudden she gets some news that she's okay, it's fine, he's passed away, and she can relax, yet she still feels uneasy. And then the terror starts, where she just starts to feel different things, and actual things start to happen, but nobody actually believes her, because nobody understands the depth of the character of her ex. Second act, we see her pretty much just look crazy to the rest of her family and friends, and she had to basically go through hell, get committed, lose her sister, go through so much to finally get the truth. And in the end, even then, getting the truth, it was still difficult for people to believe that there was an actual invisible man. So she had to, in the end, go back and handle everything on her own without me giving up too much. So with that being said, let's go beyond the script. Going beyond the script with this film for me is fear. The entire film was fear to me. I have been a victim of fear. I've been a victim of I shouldn't say victim, I should say survivor of fear, because I have or understand living with fear, living and making choices out of fear. And what I mean by that is, the perfect example is the rest of the world is looking at you like, why are you so afraid? But you don't see what the rest of the world sees. All you know is your circumstance. And in this circumstance, I'm completely afraid of the possibility. So, perfect example is when she was on her way to her friend was trying to talk her into going to the mailbox. It was a scene. He was trying to talk her into going to the mailbox. Literally 25 feet away from the house, the front door. She was petrified. She was scared. And some jogger comes by, completely loses all focus, runs back to the door as though something was gonna happen. It's a smoke screen. Nothing's gonna happen. Nobody was there. And that's how people in fear will live. And I feel like what God was saying and how I went beyond the script with this is, now that I understand what fear is exposed, and once it's exposed, it's easier to conquer it, because you really see that a lot of your decisions are being made. It's just because you have fear, but what is that fear from, and where is it coming from? Because remember, the rest of the world doesn't even know what you're talking about. They don't see what you see. So I believe that God is just trying to teach us that, conquer your fears, fight for them, fight to get over them, because they can truly trap you, truly trap you. And at this time, I'm excited about this conversation. We are going to introduce our peer thought of the day, and it is Mr. Joel T. Lester. So excited. Enjoy the conversation.
Thank you guys so much again for being here. We are here with Joel T. Lester, the artist, the minister, the anointed. And the movie, of course, we're talking about is The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, Joel.
Yes.
How did you go beyond the script with The Invisible Man?
That's. It took me a minute to go beyond the script because it's so much happening in the movie and you get involved in it emotionally. But it made me think of. I think we talked about it a few minutes ago about fear, how fear can hold you back. It's a strong message about perseverance, overcoming fear.
Right.
And I thought about when I was watching it last night again, I thought about sometimes you have to go back to a painful place in order to become free.
Wow.
And a lot of times when we get past a painful place, we don't look back anymore, but we're still affected by it.
Yes, and
so sometimes you have to go back and deal with what you didn't deal with.
Wow. Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay. So in the movie, so that's true, because she's like running back and nobody believed her. But in the end, she really literally had to go back to the house where she escaped from to deal with the issue, to pretty much put it to rest.
She never would have found that too had she not gone back.
Right. To prove her innocence, all of this going on. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Okay, so how do you find God in... Okay, so there was a point, and I know this is, it's a little weird, but I still want to know. There was a point in there where she's completely convinced that it's the guy and has absolutely no proof. What is faith? The substance of things. I just kind of like, it's sit there where I cannot prove it. I know I look crazy. What did you get from that?
I got that God has given each believer a level of discernment.
Right.
So, and I'm sure we've all had cases where we knew in our gut, we couldn't explain it.
Right.
But when we saw it and we knew it. And so I think that, again, each believer, some people who are not believers, they call it ESPN or deja vu.
Right.
But we all, as Christians, have a level of discernment to where I see you. I don't care what you guys are saying, but I know what I see.
Right.
So,
right. Discernment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Discernment.
It's key. We need discernment.
You absolutely need it. Because you
absolutely
will be
need
fooled.
Right.
Like he had everybody fooled in this movie.
Right.
I mean, he had her fooled that she married him and she couldn't get out, but then like to act like you're dead, and she knows good and well you're not dead, because she senses your presence. He had everybody fooled.
Right. And there was a couple times in there where I'm like, I was telling him earlier, I was completely ticked at her. I'm like, girl, he only 50 pounds. Girl, you better get your big butt up and do something. You're going through all of this back and forth with her. But I started to think about myself. Let's go on and be honest. What's stopping you, Serena? It's this big entity that I think is too big for me, that I think I'm too old for, that I think it's a world that I'm not ready for. It's something.
Mm-hmm.
But then you think about it. She had all the power in her hands. She was the only one that could deal with it because she was the only one that knew it was real. So I was like, wow, this is so true. Yeah. This is really a mind game that we go through of, this big smoke screen of, fear, thinking that it's something when it's truly not. It's not that it's not nothing, because it is a part of our lives. We do have to deal with it. But just to think about, I thought about the part when she calls the phone, and she realizes that his cell phone is upstairs. So he's been, and I'm thinking to myself, girl, tell somebody, girl, do this. Right. But she had told everybody everything that had already happened, and pretty much she was crazy. So at this point. And
she just messed up with her friends who she was staying with, because the invisible man slapped his daughter and made it seem like it was her. So she was right. Everybody was done with her.
Everybody's done. So nobody's gonna listen anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking to myself, well, even if she did tell, ain't nobody gonna believe her. So, and then the ultimate, like what did you get out of the death of her sister?
Shock. I was like,
did that just happen?
It was insane.
Yes. And I feel like God is saying, even after devastation, you still have to fight. Because it's just like,
she could have easily given up.
She could have given up.
Just stayed in the crazy house, and
I'm done. I got somewhere to live.
Because nobody believes me. Anyway.
Nobody believes me. I can just, eat.
And how many times have we gone through hurdles and mountains, and we felt like, okay, this is it. I know me personally, like, okay, I'm done. I can't take anymore. There's no more fighting me. But God gives you that strength, and God shows you the things that He promised you before, shows you where you're supposed to be as opposed to where you are now. And so kind of gives you a boost, like, okay, it's not over for me, because He's still showing me this is where I'm supposed to be. So let me continue to fight and do what I need to do. Right. Like, there's a scripture even in the Bible, like there was a people who were promised this beautiful, and I think it was the land of Canaan, and they sent out spies to go and look at the land. And when the spies came back, they were like, "There are giants in the land. We can't take this land." And how many times has God promised us that we were going to be A, B, C, and D, and then people around us or our inner fear says, "Oh my God, that's too. I'm not good enough to do that. I will never be able to accomplish that, God." No, conquer these giants and fulfill what you're supposed to fulfill. And so that's when she was like, "Oh no, now you killed my sister." I mean, for some people that gives them a boost, like, "Oh no, I'm gonna get it's on." So yeah,
that's true. And I think too, there was a part in the movie where, you gotta watch it, where she was in the doctor's office. At this point, she's in the psychiatric ward, and this guy's brother comes in, and I think at that point she, in a sense, saw herself and got sad. Like, I can't even believe you truly following this dude, but wait, I'm doing the same thing. And I think it kind of made a light bulb come on, and I felt like when the light bulb come on, from that point she just started working her way towards, y'all gonna know the truth. You know what I mean? By taking the pen, by I got when she took it. I'll be honest with you, I thought she was gonna kill herself. I thought she was gonna kill herself, and then I thought, like, oh wow, that was brilliant. That's a really great idea. But I feel like once you expose the devil, it was like he was exposed at the table when she's like, look, I already know, I feel sorry for you. Like, I already know, you can stop pretending, it is what it is. And
tell him to stop.
Right.
He's not good.
He's coming, the truth came out. He is now not exposed. And I think when we expose the enemy and the devil in our lives, there's this certain power that we have. And all of a sudden, these brilliant ideas that you probably should have had in the beginning. It's just like, wow, Yeah.
Pressure has a way of either causing you to crumble or pushing you forward.
Right.
It's gonna be one or two things.
Right.
So she chose not to crumble, which is because if I was in that situation, I don't know.
Right.
Like,
right.
I might have said, let me just take myself out because I mean they think I killed my sister.
Right.
Like, and that's the crazy thing. It's like her sister was really her protector in the movie. Because if you think about when she and her sister went to the brother after her husband allegedly died, and he started like trying to go in on her, the sister was like, "No, we're not here for that.
Right.
Say what you need to say, so we can like." So I believe that God also has people. He places people around us to protect us. Because if she was by herself, I think she would have, because she wasn't strong enough at that point. She would have crumbled.
Right.
So the sister was like, we're not having this.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. And then in a sense, he took
out the protector. So she had to stand, the strength in her had to stand up. Like, right. It's on you now, baby girl. You gotta.
Right. Yeah. It's like you have to stand on your own. And he's so funny, Bishop was just talking about isolation.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's so true. I love that. Oh my, that's so true. It's just like, it's divine. It's godly divine that she had to be isolated. People had to, took her friends away from her because, her friend was just like, my first responsibility is my daughter.
Exactly.
I mean, I love you, but you're cuckoo. Like, everything you saying don't seem true. So, and she said she didn't hit with you. She said you hit her. I'm taking my daughter.
I'm taking my daughter's side.
Right. I'm taking my daughter's side, and that's my priority. So she lost her friends, her protector. She lost all means of outside guarding.
Even when the invisible man beat her friends behind in his own house.
Right.
He's still after that, like the only way you're gonna get out of here if you say this, and she's still telling him no.
Right.
I understand that that's his brother in the house, but my husband is still alive.
Right.
Like he still wasn't a believer.
Right.
So she still was in a fight, even though he saw the suit, he saw that it was impossible.
Right.
For this man to be invisible and do the things that he did, but now you only looking. He never looked past what he saw, and she looked past what she saw. She knew what she knew.
Right. That's so true. Jeez. And I was so funny because in the police station, my first reaction was kind of like the friend, because I was just like, well, say what you gotta say to get out, just tell them what they want to hear. Right. But yeah, I think you do get to a place where you're just like, no, I'm not cowering down to this enemy anymore. Man.
Because if you do, I mean, sometimes that takes you 10 steps back.
True.
So no, I'm not. No, I said what I said.
I said what I said.
You believe me or you don't, okay? But I said what I said.
Right.
That's not him, all right? Yes, he beat you in your house, but he didn't do all the other stuff. That was my husband, all right?
Right. And I just was feeling like she never went into full detail about the things that were actually happening. But when she did say something, they always made her feel like she was crazy. So why would I go into detail? None of you ever believed me. And I was just like, wow, that's so true. And
even when she was in the psych ward, I was screaming out, "Oh my God, you idiots!" Like, the security people, you see that she did not touch any of these guards. You see what's happening, but you still focusing on her. Stay down. Like, no, the enemy is right by you. Are you crazy? Like, she did not take all these guards out. Like, what is wrong with you?
Right. How is she like? How is she 10 feet
She's
away?
10 blocks away.
Right. 10 feet away from you, and you just got hit in the mouth.
Oh my God.
I was like, on the cameras. I mean, her hands aren't moving. Come on, people. Come on. I'm just like, it couldn't be. But it's so funny because,
what?
because the enemy is like that. when you're outside looking, you're telling people, don't do that. You know, when God told you, don't go to his house again. You know, and you just like, the outside people like, oh, here she go again. Oh, but in your mind, you know, you're just, you know, you understand, you got it. But us watching the movie, we can watch somebody to death and tell them all what they could have did better in their story, in their movie. But the truth is, we're all sitting in this film ourselves, we call our lives, and really navigating little by little, but still making human choices.
Bad human choices.
Bad human choices.
And you have the insights like, don't do that.
The
Don't go there. Don't answer that call. Don't call them back. Like all of that. And it's like, oh, it's okay. I mean, let me see what they want. And then they wheel you behind right back in.
Right back in. And it's so funny because we're sitting up watching her go through her story, but it's a lot like us. And at the end of the day, nobody can go through the story. Nobody couldn't have gone through the story but her. It was like divine that she had to allow this dude to come in and just completely take her to the point where I am not doing this anymore. And nobody could have guided her through that. Her sister couldn't have protected her from that. Her friend couldn't have protected her from that. You're living in a cop's house. I mean, this dude is super bold, and the enemy is super bold. Like, I'm gonna come up in your house and I'm gonna aggravate you and God's gonna allow me to do that until you get to the place where you know
I'm gonna set myself up in your house. Like,
you think about that. All right, so we're in the middle of talking about the divine connection. Well, basically talking about that God allowed the enemy to pretty much set up shop in her house. OMG.
And she's the only one that knew.
Right. The bottle. The medicine bottle.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. We all know now. We all get here. And she got in the room and told the truth, and didn't nobody believe her.
I was looking at her like, oh Lord, she is nuts. Like,
right. And it's no fair. Like, oh no. I'm like, oh no. That's all I can think.
You know what's crazy? I just thought about this. Like, she was the only one that knew it first, but remember when he was going back and he said he was going to take care of the daughter? The daughter finally sensed somebody was in the room. She was at home by herself, so then she and took out that pepper spray. She didn't see him, but she knew somebody was there and they started spraying. So she got a revelation. It was late, but she did get a revelation.
Like,
the father didn't get a revelation until he was being beaten. And
even then,
come on, man, get a revelation of what's going on in your house.
Right, come on. But that's true. But you got to think about if it's your journey. Then you cannot expect the people around you to key in and to understand or to discern what's happening in your story.
I will agree with that if they are people who are not spiritual. True. But if I am a Christian, and we do that a lot of times in church, we get so caught up in our own world and just the day-to-day things that we can walk right past somebody and don't discern that they're going through.
Right.
Or God will put somebody on our mind and we just brush it off like, oh.
Right.
But no, he put them on your mind for you to reach out to them. Say, I'm just checking in on and to pray for them. So I do believe that if we take the time and if we really tap in, we can discern what's going on with others. We might not know all of the facts, but we know that something is not right. Right. So let me, like you said, pray for them. Let me reach out to them.
Right.
So.
Right. That is true. And I do feel too that as Christians, we should be a little bit more more sensitive. I feel
And
with people's not just their feelings, because I know God doesn't truly deal in feelings, but just be more sensitive in where people are. You know what I mean? I mean, they may be going through, God may have had you say something, but don't be like the pagans. I gotta pray with people watching. If you discern that it's not a time to be making this to be seen, pray in silence. Yes, I had to pray with my friend today because she was going through. Yeah. But more along the lines is, I feel you in my spirit. Let me send you a text, let you know God is still in control. God is with you. Yeah. And move on. Yeah. Don't, sometimes you're helping them wallow, when you're, playing the pity party with them, So, yeah.
And sometimes people, even though you sense them and you might call and check on them, some people are still not going to let you know what's going on.
Right.
But you still have to know, I know something is happening, and it's okay if they don't want to divulge, all the information, but it's still my job to pray for them.
Right.
And then sometimes they will divulge, and your job is just to listen, not to give any scriptures, not to give any advice.
Right.
Just to listen.
Listen.
Because sometimes once people vent, they're actually better.
Right.
But we get so spiritual and so churchy. Like, oh, the Bible said, and that's great. I'm not saying we live by the word, but sometimes they don't want to hear that at that moment. Right. They just want somebody to listen.
Right.
So we got to be sensitive and to know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, all of that stuff.
Right. That's true. That is completely true.
And these people in the movie didn't know what to say. Let's go back. See, you thought we lost where we were, but we didn't. These people in the movie didn't know what to say.
Right. Can you imagine going through your loved ones, it's pretty much going crazy right before your eyes because you don't believe that.
Right.
Like, I don't see what you're seeing, and I don't
even
know.
The email though.
Right.
Like, if me and you have a relationship and I get an email from you saying all of that stuff, in my mind, I'm definitely gonna be looking at the email like, did she really just say all of this? Right. But I'm like, but that's not like her.
Right.
Like, you have to know the person that you're close to, so she didn't even give her a chance to really explain.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I didn't send the email. This fool who y'all think is dead sent this email. Okay? And the enemy does that too. He will plant the seeds in your spirit, in your ear, in your spirit, about somebody you're close to.
Right.
From other people. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing that.
And the funny thing is we always forget that the enemy is smart. He knows. He's very, very, so he's pulling out little things about your relationship that has already been existing, and then like throws that into your face and then amplifies it and then puts a little bit more on it. And then you're like, you did act like that with me, or you do that to me, you know what I mean? And then you're like, oh, she really do feel like that, and forgetting about, your whole, 10-year relationship. But at the end of the day, I feel like we have to still be sensitive, because at the end, it was just like you said, it was like, there was a point where they just did not give her a break. Like, she didn't get the benefit of the doubt even in the beginning when she was running away, and her sister's like, what's going on? Oh, that was
I was screaming, would you just drive already?
She just said drive.
You want to sit, but the crazy thing is, even when he's at the door, you're still asking, what's going on? Lady, if you don't drive this car, this is not the time to have this conversation. Like, what is wrong with you?
You guys have to watch the movie. You'll understand our frustration. I was just like, are you serious right now? Like, you don't really we're not giving people the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day. Like, she didn't get any from any of her family, any of the loved ones. Y'all was raised with her and know her. I understand, but still, I'll be like, it's a little crazy, but you tell me to drive, I'm driving.
Especially if you see the devil at the door. Like,
at the door. How he get all the way
bust the window in for you to take off? Are you crazy? Like, what's going on? Boom. Like, like, oh my God. I wonder, like, get her. Just kill her. Like, so bad.
Right. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you really serious? Okay, so with all of that, let's come to the end, the triumph.
Yes.
I'm gonna say the triumph. What did you get out of the triumph? Woo! Well, the end. I should say the end, because it's horrible. But
she had to kill the enemy. The only way that she was gonna be able to live a fruitful life and live without fear is she would have to conquer and kill the enemy that was trying to kill her.
Right.
And again, a lot of times we don't do it because of fear, because of what people are gonna think about what we're doing. But like, you gotta sometimes just think about, this is my life. I can't. I won't be able to survive if I don't conquer. So she had to kill the enemy.
She had to kill the enemy.
And she had to be smart about it.
Right.
Because this fool, see, I think because she tried to get him to tell the truth. The truth would have set him free.
Right.
The truth would have set him free.
It really would have set him free.
But he lied.
Right.
And then when he did that whole surprise again, she's like, oh yeah.
Right. Okay.
You're not admitting it, but okay.
Thank you for the confirmation.
Thank you for the
much.
confirmation. My friend is outside listening, but they're gonna see this video.
Right.
But yeah, conquer your enemy.
And that's where, she pretty much had to put it to rest. Like, okay. So now
But
you're
did
dead.
you see the confidence though? When she walked outside with the bag after
Right.
Did you see how her
It
whole
was demeanor
posture,
was
everything
different.
changed.
She didn't even care. There was no, it wasn't.
Exactly.
Right.
She was
calm.
confident.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Your whole demeanor will change when you conquer your fear. Like,
Right.
shut
That is so true.
Yeah.
That's true. You want to say something else, Minister? Anointed one?
Nope.
If you want confidence,
Right.
kill your
Conquer
fear.
your fear, man. Or else she'll look up and be 70 years old, crazy as a bat.
Right.
Because you didn't conquer. Just think about all the things. Like, I'm definitely, I tell anybody who I'm close to or when I'm one-on-one, like, people see me when I grab the mic and they see a different person. They see the confidence. But the truth of the matter is, my esteem is crazy sometimes. I don't think I'm good enough. I deal with all of that stuff. So, but if I allow that to consume me, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing anything. I'd be locked up in a room, not doing anything. But you can't. Like, you create your own prison when you don't conquer your fears and when you don't conquer those things.
That's the truth.
And who wants to live the rest of their life in prison?
Right. Can you imagine if
Nope.
she gave up, she would have been in that ward.
She conquered her fear and she got that money.
Right.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord, she did.
The $5 million.
Thank you, Jesus.
Hallelujah.
I conquer my fear if it got a paycheck like that. No, but seriously.
But she didn't even do it for the money, though.
She did.
She
She
did
didn't
it,
really
yeah.
care. Like, at the end of the day, she just wanted to be free.
Yeah.
And there was a little part going back just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and end it. Oh my God, I got something going on. I hope y'all don't hear all of that. I'm washing clothes. Jesus.
Oh, I didn't even hear anything.
But there's a small little part in there where she's sitting and to the outside world talking to air, but she knows he's in the room, and she's just like going through, reflecting on when she met him, why, like, I'm not that girl. Like, why would you even pick me? You know what I mean? And she wasn't like the supermodel type look. She was just a girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's probably why he chose her, because he knew that he would be able to control her. And so, just that conversation that she was having, I felt like it was a reflection on how we look back at our lives and we're trying to figure out, where did I go wrong? And I honestly don't feel like God wants us. I mean, you have to go back. You have to go back to figure it out. But I don't think he's trying to get us to completely understand, you were here because, and you made this move because that, and that's why you did that. I think we're missing the point. I think the point is we're supposed to conquer the fear. It's like we're trying to realize why we did that in the first place. And it's not about why you did it in the first place. You're here right now, and what you're going to do. What are you going to do to
get
be
places.
out? To get out, because her ultimate goal was to be free. I just want to be free. And how many times have we said that to ourselves about, everything?
I just thought about something else since you're talking about being free. It's crazy that he controlled everything in that house. Remember the scene when she went to the basement and the dogs would not come down those steps?
Right.
The dog knew not to go past that point.
Right.
Like, he controlled every aspect. So that even when she took the collar off the dog ran like his life depended on it.
Right.
Everybody in that house wanted to be free.
Right. He done turned on everything like, I'm free. I'm gone. We never saw the dog.
Yeah, we never saw the dog. Well, no, we did.
At the end.
Yeah.
At the end. But still, it was just like, I'm out. That's kind of how we
He
did.
took off.
He was gone.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And that's how you can know that, some entities in our life are diabolical like that. Like, they're really, control is a serious aspect.
When I see any signs of that, that's a red flag for me. Because I've been in situations where people have tried it, because I'm naturally very nice. And so people will take advantage of that. And so I've been in situations where people try to control every aspect of my life. So now, if I see any red flag, like, I'm good.
I'm good.
Hey, how you doing? No, we will not be close, because I see that spirit.
Right.
And that spirit starts off slow. And before you know it, you look around like, how did I get here? Yeah.
Yes. I've always been that way as well. My problem is I allow people to do it only because I was just too afraid to stand up on my own. Thank God we have behind the script. My husband calls it behind the script. It's beyond the script. But I honestly would always allow people to do that because of the fact I was just too afraid to stand up on my own, because hey, if I fail, then everybody's gonna know it was just me. And I think now I've gotten to a place where I see it clear. Like you said, the red flags, you see it clear. Like, I mostly attract people who are extremely territorial. And like, I'm not that girl. Like, I'm horrible. I'm not going to call you all the time. I'm not, I'm just horrible with friendship. I can sit at this computer for 12 hours and I would have missed your party. Like, people invite me to parties, I don't show up. I'm so sorry. And it's not, and I tell people all the time, just please love me, because
Please love me.
Because I love you. Like, I really do. I didn't come to your birthday party, but I really do. I really do love you, for real. And so, I'm just a mess like that. I'm not going to call, but see, if God will tell me something, or I'm dreaming about you, or something will happen, I'll call. Or I'll send money. Or, I see I remember I had a friend that, she had her Bible and she was praying over a bill. I paid the bill. Like, I was, I'm that type of friend. Like, I got your back, and I ain't gonna call you all the time. I might not show up, but I ain't gonna, but I'm a true friend. Like, I truly care about people. And I think that's why I gravitate so many, territorial people gravitate towards me, because they know that I'm honest, I'm loyal. And so at the end of the day, you see the red flags, you see them. So okay, I know how this started and I know where it's going to end up. So you try your best to, just pull away and do the best you can to, love people regardless. But you still have to stand up and be strong. And that's what's hard, especially for the people that are, people pleasers like
and
myself.
people know how to disguise it. Like,
right.
Like you might see that red flag, but people still know how to disguise it. Oh, no, that's not the case. And no, I see
you.
Because it starts slow. It's not they're not gonna come in trying to control you.
Right.
They're gonna come in being nice, but you're gonna see little things moving forward. Like, why you got that on?
Ooh. Right.
Oh no, I don't want to go there. I want to go here.
Right.
Oh, you were supposed to call me. Why you ain't call me at 10 o'clock? Like, if I asked you to call me at 10 o'clock, I need.
Wow. That's the truth. And subtle suggestions.
Yeah. Oh, I want to hang out with you today. Do you have to go to your parents' house today?
What? Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't do that if I was you. I would.
Right.
Like, it's little things.
Little things. And the first time, this is crazy, because the first time you're teeter-tottering, whether or not, because this has already been a thought in your head, like, do I want to do this or do I want to do this? And then they say something. And the first time you go the route that they told
they got you.
They got you. They feel like that's it. They listening. Manipulation.
I've had a couple of people try to really make me believe that they were the only people or persons that were looking out for me. Like, your family don't care about you like I care about you.
Are you serious?
And that's when I knew that you were crazy. Like, you're crazy.
Right, you're cray. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
wow.
done.
Wow.
I'm gonna break this stronghold. Like,
right. And that's scary though.
And it's hard to break.
It's hard to break because in a sense you kind of created it. And now
and you're connected, like heart-wise, you're connected emotionally to these people. So
you got
they
used
make sure
to
of
this
that.
behavior.
Yeah.
And jeez.
Yeah.
What if they're your family? You can't just get rid of them.
You can't. I mean, you don't necessarily have to get rid of them, but you can definitely, like, this is as far as I'm going with you. I'm gonna always be nice. I'm gonna always love you, but I will never go past this line with you again.
Right.
Because you don't know how to deal with me past this line.
Right.
So, and I don't know if you're like this. I'm one of those people where dealing with people who are controlling like that, for me to, especially if I'm emotionally attached to them, for me to get past it, I have to really I can't talk. There's no talking, there's no texting. I have to have a time where I'm not dealing with you at all in order for me to really get past it. And once I'm over something, once I'm done, I'm done.
I'm done.
So
Yeah. I'm one that will, I'll talk when you talk, but I'll pull away.
Yeah.
Just to be,
But
respectful.
the thing with people who are like that, they won't let you. So you really have to take that time. You can't answer anything because it sets you back if you do that.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Woo! Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
This has been a combo. I'm so excited about it. Invisible Man. You guys go watch it. Make sure you follow me on social media, Facebook at Serena Gilmore. And let's hear about what you think of that Invisible Man.
Yes.
That was a good movie. And if you didn't know, The Invisible Man has been redone throughout the years several times.
This is definitely the best
but
one.
But this last one was, the story was told just a little bit differently, and it's pretty good. It's actually really, really good. So watch it, and thanks for being here. Bye. I'm a little lost, but it's okay. I decided not to use my teleprompter today. Probably not the smartest thing in the world to do, but it's okay. It's all right. Just introduce you and get into the conversation. Okay, good?
Yeah.
Minister Joel Lester. Joel T. Lester. Okay.
I'd like to tell you a story about the love I have inside of me. It's not where it should be, but it sure ain't where it used to be. I strive to be patient, I strive to be kind, not jealous of anything, no boasting on the mind.